Hello, welcome to my starter house tutorial. Today we're going to take on kind of a farm style. As you can see, we really want to have all the details of what a farm might look like. It's maybe been run down over the years. So let's jump in and see how easy this is to build. Okay, to get started, like I do with any project, I always like to lay out at least what I think the sizes are going to be. So what I've done here is I've done a 14 wide. Now the reason I did 14 wide is I want a double door instead of a single door. So we're going to do an even build this way and then 11 blocks this way. Now you can see these two little jut outs in the front and back. I'm thinking of some kind of a porch there, some kind of a porch here. There's some blocks here because I'm thinking, does a road like come through part of our build? That could be kind of fun. And then the other side, I've put some other blocks because we need this for this farmhouse to have somewhere to put our horses. So I think we're going to do that there. Now, with any build, it's always good to kind of figure out what your color palette's going to look like. For this one, I've actually chosen a green color palette for the bottom with some, cobblestone in there to make it look like it's kind of worn down over the years, and then an orange roof. Now, this is really colorful. I don't know if you want your color palette to be quite this crazy, but I'm going to show you that you can actually pull off some pretty cool builds with two colors, instead of just always using, I don't know, the natural woods, the browns, the whites. So we're going very colorful on this one, even to the point where we have colored glass. Okay, to get started, we're going to put in the main frame of the house. So with this, a lot of times all you need to do is think about how the different pieces are going to come together or where they're going to be. So pretty quick, if we just do something like that, we can kind of establish a corner. Here is roughly a window. We know our door is going to be here in the middle, so we're going to flank that on either side with some of this. I don't know, let's build this up a little bit. And if we come across here, let's see how that's looking. Oh, that's looking great. So we got the height of the door just right. We're going to put some kind of a stair in here to make the door sit in a little bit better. But pretty quick, you can see how we can establish the basement, or not the basement, the main level. So I'm going to go around, kind of just establish this main portion so you can kind of see what that should look like. And getting that base in was actually pretty quick. As you can see, we didn't do anything too fancy. Maybe there's some spots that we need to texture a little bit more. And I didn't talk about what we have here, but we basically have moss, the mossy cobblestone, and then some green concrete powder. I always forget the name of that one, but we didn't do anything too special. And I think that's one thing to keep in mind is as you're building some of these things, just go through, sprinkle things in. If you get to a point you're like, oh, that maybe doesn't look the best, we'll come in and stick something else there. Uh-oh, now we've got kind of a matchy pattern, so we'll do something else. But that's how easy kind of this is you get to play with the shape. But as you see, we just really have a rectangle box. Don't worry about doing crazy shapes. When you're starting to learn to build some of these starter homes, you don't need to go too crazy. So essentially what I've done is some 2 high windows here, 2 wide doors, and I mirrored the whole thing. Yes, that's maybe a little boring, but for a starter house, let's not go crazy. So as you can see on the back, it's about the same. So once you have this, instead of going into detail, we're actually going to work out what the roof looks like. So with the roof, I think what we're going to do is have it come up and then back down over here. So that way the roof for this portion can kind of slope from here on out this way. So let's get on a basic roof and let me grab the materials. As you can see, we're going to do acacia and some granite. So let me get those ready. All right, and for this roof, what we're going to go with is our acacia slabs, our granite slabs, and our smooth red sandstone slab. Well, I almost couldn't say that, but that's the 3 materials we're going to use. Now, most of it's going to be the acacia slabs. Now, what I want to do here is actually have a low-pitched roof. I don't want this to go too high. We want it to be kind of almost like a ranch style. So what we're actually going to do, and I'm going to break this down just a tiny bit, is we're actually going to start a little bit below here. Because we have the porch coming out, I actually want to bring that out too. That's going to allow us to kind of do this step up look where that's going to go here. We're going to come out one more so we have a little bit of an overhang. And let's see if we can break that. So that's going to come up. And now all we're really going to do is just ladder this up. So for some of this, we're going to put a few of the other colors and see if we can find, and I think this one is going to be our halfway point. And let's go down and see what that looks like as far as, yep, that's kind of it. We just need to stick one here. That is really kind of the pitch I want. We're going to be able to put up some posts that are going to hold the roof up, and then this will be kind of the pitch. So I'm going to go through and actually put on this side, wrap it around. We won't fill in just the middle just yet, but let's at least get that and see if that is the roof line that we're looking for. Roof line's in. Let's check it from kind of all the different sides. And I think that's looking pretty good. It's not too high, and it kind of gives us that low roof like a ranch would. We'll fill in kind of the details that hold up the roof here in a second, but just checking that, I think it's pretty good. Now what we're going to be able to do is think about what does this stable look like on the side. Okay, so I think we're going to build this down. So what we're going to actually do is come in one. I never like roofs to line up, but I do want to kind of line up. So we're going to put, and let's start with our acacia slabs here. We're really just going to kind of come down one and then just work our way over till this stone. Now that looks too small, but what we're going to do, and I don't have my shovel out here, let's grab that real quick, is this is actually going to be dug down all the way to the road here. So we're going to be able to kind of come in here. That will show you the roof's going to be plenty high here. So that's great. We can actually make that work. We'll fix the details here in a minute. And now that I'm looking at this, we're going to have to remove this one because you need a full block here because I want to use a wall. Is that going to look good? Yep, I think so. So I'm going to now build out this, fill in the roof, fill in the portions up here, and let's see how it looks. Okay, and as you can see, our house is really starting to take shape, and just by using a little bit of detailing, a little bit of texture, we're actually getting something that looks pretty good. So it doesn't take a lot. Like sometimes you think you gotta put all these details in, but a lot of times it's not too much detailing. It's really just adding some texture. So we've added some texture there. We've added a little window. I just used a piece of scaffolding. I want to see if that looks good. We'll check that in a minute. And then kind of back around the side here. I think the roof's all in there. And then we've got our horse stables in. So I think this is ready for us to start putting some of the details in. So we're going to work on getting kind of the details in here around the windows. But let me grab that stuff and then we'll move on to that step. Now on to some of the details. What we've got here is some trapdoors, some oak fence gates, and some cobblestone walls. This is really what's going to start holding our porch up, our side over here where the horses are going to go in. So a lot of this type of detail isn't going to be overly crazy. It's just going to be some simple walls here. We're just going to alternate those a little bit. Now the fence gates I love to put kind of here. They kind of act like a little bit of a fence without it having the harsh point in the middle. So fence gates are great for that. Yes, you can open and close them, but that's okay. So as you can see, that starts giving us a little definition, but right now we have so much that looks the same. So that's why we have the oak trapdoors. We're going to put those in here as kind of the shutters. Now what this is doing is it's not just giving us shutters, but it's actually helping give us a little bit of definition of where the windows are. If you didn't do this portion and just put in some glass, your windows are really going to start sinking in. But as you can see there, now all of a sudden we can see a lot better definition of where the windows are. I'm going to put the doors in here in a minute. Oh, our tree just grew, so that's perfect. We're going to put in some spruce doors here. But what I'm going to do is just keep kind of wrapping this around. Oh, the other detail that I want to show you, and I think this is one of my new favorite uses for a lever. So let's grab, I don't know, let's grab 8 for now. Now what I love about levers is they kind of can act like little supports. So just putting in that little bit of detail looks like it's holding up the roof. It's not anything that you're gonna ever use to turn any redstone on, but at least it's kind of that detail that it looks like it's supporting the roof and holding it up. So I'm going to go through and kind of do the rest of the details here. So we're going to come over, figure out where this comes. Now we're going to have to figure out what happens to the dirt here. But we're going to stick those in here. let's do, oh, we gotta back that out. That actually goes back one more. Up, down my shovel, that's okay. We'll put these details in. Now I don't want it to be one big horse stable, so we're gonna cut this out. Let's put in some walls here. And I think we're gonna do it in the middle as well. So that way we can have, I don't know, two people's different horses in here. They won't get out. Yep, and that's perfect. So see, you can put some details in pretty quick and that starts looking good. Now, one thing I do like actually, that while we're here, is I actually like putting some details that run up the back here. Helps give it a little bit more definition, makes it feel like it's kind of complete, where here it's just kind of open. So we're gonna run that same detail up through here, and we'll detail this out in just a minute because we don't want it sitting on dirt, and I don't think we want this there. So we're gonna fill all this in, make it look like it's supposed to be there. So let me get the other rest of these details on the backside, and then we'll move to the next step. All right, now the next step, we have a really weird combination of items. We're gonna put in lime green glass. Now, the reason I chose this instead of white or black is I really want it to feel like this thing has really mossed over. Even the windows have mossed over, and maybe lime green might be a little bright, but what I worried is if I used the dark green, it would blend a little too much in the moss. So we really wanted to kind of pick up on this lime green that's in the moss for the windows. It's going to help it stand out just a little bit more without being too distracting. Now, if this was somewhere else, like you've seen it in some of my other builds, it can look really out of place, but because it picks up a lot in this moss, I think it's going to work great. So we've got that. We're going to put in some spruce doors here. Jump out. If I can get out. Oh, it was harder than it needed to be. Cool. So that's going to really start, really closing that in. So now what we're going to do is actually figure out some stairs here. Now I've already got some stairs pre-built. We're going to put those in and then kind of fill in our porch. And just like that, that's going to give us a porch pretty quick, pretty easy. Some stairs up. We can work on the landscaping. But that is essentially the front of our house. We got the side of our house done here. Oh, I want to put some trapdoors up there. I'll do that off camera. But now the last part of this tutorial is we want to get a side, I don't know what this is even going to be. It's going to be kind of a drive-through area. I don't know, maybe the farmer brought his wagon through here. I don't know, but we're going to build another little roof here. So let me grab those materials. All right, and the second to last thing that we're going to do, we're almost wrapped up here, is we're going to get this side in. And as you can see, I crafted a whole big hole here. I don't know, crafted, built, cut, took out part of the wall, because what I realized is that I want some kind of a fireplace here. So I'm going to go through with kind of some different textures. This is what I pretty much do on everything like this, is just making sure we give it just enough texture that it'll feel like it's been worn down, it's been used over the years. Now you can go as crazy as you want with this. So I have some cracked ones, some regular ones, but we're just going to build up a whole big wall here and kind of see where we get to. I'm going to get to the point where we're going to have to cut out, I think, a little bit more roof. Yeah, I want this to be 3 wide up here. So might have to cut something out, something you've already put in. That's okay. That's what Minecraft is it's putting in blocks and taking some out. So what I'm going to do here is get roughly above the roof line. We don't want this to get too close to the roof, but from here, we only want to be 1 story high. So we're going to maybe go up, I don't know, let's go one more. When I said 1 story, I mean 1 column. So it looks like the fire's down there and it's pushing the smoke out the top. So perfect. Let's get this last layer in here and go down and see how that's looking. Oh yeah, it's looking pretty good. Now there's a little bit of a smiley face going on with the 2 eyes there, but that's okay because I think that's about the height we want. Where now we want to taper that in and get it up to 1. Now I'm going to use some stairs to do that. We're going to blend it down into 1 and then see what it looks like. All right, with that tapered, I think we got it tapered twice. We have it one from this side to start getting a little narrow, and then from there into 1. Now we're going to take our campfire, and this is really where that detail comes in at the end. And let's see if I can get up here. Let's get our scaffolding back out here. Gonna go up. Now this is always the trickiest part, is you get your campfire in there so you get the smoke. But you don't want it to look like your chimney's burning down. So we're gonna see if we can do this without getting hurt too bad. Yeah, I think that is gonna work. So we're gonna click on the sides of those. Click on that side. Click on the other side. Break out the scaffolding. It's gonna cause a mess. Let's see if we can get all of those. I think we got them. And come down. Yep, so there we go. That is gonna be the detail that we kind of need there. Now I want there to be a portion over here. I'm just gonna do a quick little roof, just like we did over here with the horse stables. So let me do that real quick, get that detail in, and then we'll move on to the very last phase. And that phase is detailing. That's always the fun one. But let's get this roof in, and then we'll get to detailing. And there you have a simple roof with some walls. Now this might not look too impressive until we start getting some of the detailing in, but you can see this at least gives our build a lot of character, a lot of, I don't know, lived in, like they had to just build something here for, I don't know, a workstation for the wagon to come through. Maybe that's where they park their wagon at night. I don't know, it's up to you what you want the lore to be, but as you can see, a simple rectangle, 2 little side roofs, and a chimney give this a lot of character. Now I think I'm going to add something a little bit to this side, not quite sure what, but I want some kind of detail here. But now it really comes down to the time where you figure out what you want the outside to look like. I'm not going to go through a step-by-step tutorial, but some of the things that I like to do is really starting to like add some leaves, make this look like it's been overgrown. Maybe they planted some bush here on the side. Now, I don't know, now that I'm putting these 2 leaves together, I don't know if the acacia ones look as good with that. They seem to be a different color green, so I might go get some of the oak leaves and put those in, but I'm going to do a bunch of the detailing, kind of show you what I would do, and then you can decide how you would do it in your world. So let me go put in a whole bunch of details, and then that will be our tutorial. And sometimes the detailing takes the longest. If we look around here, you can see that we've added all sorts of details. We got all the different weeds, some grass, some moss, the different textures in the road, and that road leads right through here. Now I'm still gonna figure out some details to put in here, because as you can see, it looks a little plain, but we'll figure that out because we still need to figure out, is there a tree next to this? But all these little details really start making your build, which we start out with just a rectangle, really make it look different and make it not just look like a plain box. So we've got all those details in. We even brought the horse over. And if you've never seen this trick before, you can actually put carpet on top of a berry bush and your horse won't go over it. So that's an easy way to keep our horses in there. And that is really all the kind of just detailing that you can figure out what you like. Do you want it to look really busy? Do you want it to look lived in? Or do you want it to look nice and clean? That's all up to you. But y'all, that is going to do it for this tutorial. Thanks for coming along as we built out this farmer house. I think the color palette's pretty fun and it came together really well. So until the next tutorial, we'll talk to you soon.